The Jamiat Ulema-i-Hind has moved the Supreme Court against the centre, saying triple talaq has been made a non-bailable offence by which Muslim men can be imprisoned for 3 years even as desertion of a wife by a husband is not even considered an offence in India. At best, desertion is a ground for divorce. The 3-year imprisonment prescribed under the new Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Act of 2019 is both disproportionate and excessive, the Jamiat's petition said. The Organization of Islamic Scholars belonging to the Deobandi school, which came into existence in 1919, said the new law has made the declaration of triple talaq an offence graver than crimes such as rioting, kidnapping, death by negligence, concealment of birth by secret disposal of body, bigamy, bribery and food adulteration. It said even offences such as kidnapping, which are far graver, are bailable. Making the pronouncement of instantaneous talaq non-bailable is both excessive and unwarranted, the Jamiat, represented by Advocate Ajaz Maqbool, argued. The petition said the punishment for rioting was imprisonment up to 2 years or fine or both. For bribery, under Section 171E of the Indian Penal Code, the punishment was up to 1 year or fine or both. The 3-year punishment for Muslim husbands rebelled against the very notion of just deserts, which requires that a sentence being imposed must be proportionate to the offender's culpability is applicable to criminal jurisprudence, the petition said. Prescribing a punishment of imprisonment of up to 3 years for a pronouncement of talaq having the effect of instantaneous divorce, when the same pronouncement can be lawfully made within a period of 3 months, without attracting any penal consequences whatsoever, is not only disproportionate but extremely excessive and stringent, the petition said. The petition asked how the law works for the betterment of Muslim women if their husbands are sent to jail for 3 years for pronouncing triple talaq, which is already invalid. The very pronouncement of triple talaq had already been declared invalid by the Supreme Court in a judgment in 2017, that is, before the coming of the Act. Thus, despite the pronouncement of instant talaq, the man continues to be her husband. The pronouncement of talaq by a Muslim husband upon his wife had already been declared void and illegal. No circumstance whatsoever existed in the first place requiring the enactment of the Act, it said. The Act criminalizes the act of pronouncement of talaq by a Muslim husband and makes it a cognizable offence, without appreciating that such pronouncement had already been declared unconstitutional, it said. U.S. President Donald Trump plans to discuss Kashmir, the Indo-US partnership, defense, human rights, counterterrorism and trade with Prime Minister Modi this weekend at the G7 summit in Biarritz. This information was conveyed to reporters on a briefing call by senior administration officials in the U.S. President Trump is very much looking forward to his meeting with Indian Prime Minister Modi, where they will discuss the strategic partnership and how they can cooperate more closely on issues like defense cooperation, counter-terrorism and trade. We expect the two leaders to build on the very productive discussions they had in Osaka at the G20 as well as the phone call that they held earlier this week, a senior administration official on the call said. Mr. Trump, who believes that the U.S. is being treated unfairly by the world trading system, will also discuss tariffs and market access issues the U.S. has with India. Although bilateral trade between them has increased over the past few years, trade issues have become a significant challenge in the relationship between India and the U.S. They will look for solutions on the trade front. The U.S. is looking to India to reduce tariffs and open its markets, reporters were told. In his discussions with Mr. Modi, Mr. Trump will also raise human rights concerns in the unfolding situation in Kashmir following the August 5 abrogation of Article 370, special status for Kashmir, by India, the official said. We do expect the issue of India-Pakistan relations to come up. The president will likely want to hear from Prime Minister Modi on how he plans to reduce regional tensions and uphold respect for human rights in Kashmir as part of India's role as the world's largest democracy. India's decision to rescind Article 370 in Kashmir is an internal decision but certainly with regional implications. And President Trump will likely want to hear how Prime Minister Modi intends to calm regional tensions in light of this significant move. Of concern are the restrictions on movement and communications in Kashmir, and this will be raised by Mr. Trump in his talks with Prime Minister Modi as per the senior administration officials. The US administration also called on Pakistan to end its support for terror groups operating in Kashmir. The president is likely to stress the need for dialogue among all sides of the conflict, and it is hoped that India will lift the communications and movement restrictions in Kashmir and exercise the utmost restraint in dealing with potential protests. And certainly President Trump is also calling on Pakistan to prevent infiltration of militants across the line of control that divides Kashmir and to crack down on groups on its territory that have attacked India in the past. High alert was issued in Coimbatore late on Thursday following an intelligence input that 6 lead terrorists had intruded into Tamil Nadu and had settled in Coimbatore. The alert, the authenticity of which was confirmed by credible intelligence sources, said that the 6-member group intruded into Tamil Nadu via Sri Lanka. Of the 6 men, one was a Pakistan national and the others were Muslims from Sri Lanka. The Pakistani was identified as Ilyas Anwar in the alert. Also read: near searches houses of 6 TN men who allegedly raised funds for us. Near searches houses of 6 TN men who allegedly raised funds for us. It said that the men were in the disguise of Hindus with vibhuti or talaq smeared on their foreheads. Following the alert, the police have beefed up security in the city. Special patrols were conducted in sensitive areas and public places.